Do you need your phone?
I shouldn't, but you can move it if you need.
No, that's all right.
Set something there.
That's all right. I need to get water.
Oh my god.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Don't start without me.
See, the thing is, I know you're expecting me to fill the space, but when you walk away, I'm tempted to just sit here in silence. But then I later have to think and go, am I about to cut that all out?
I like how you explained the bit by just talking through the bit.
So I don't have to cut it.
Good job. Good job. Do you want to turn the camera just a little bit? I feel like you're almost off camera.
I'm hiding.
You little thing. Ow, my arm.
My arm's cut off.
Just kidding. Hopefully I'm not too loud. I realize that I don't have my little cap for my microphone, so hopefully I don't blow it out at all, and you're able to adjust the levels accordingly.
Yeah.
On this episode of SMSoup. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SMSoup. You might be thinking, Spencer, what was with that long pause? Why did you pause so long between M and soup? And it may or may not be because I forgot I was supposed to do something for this episode. Welcome to the #1 podcast with soup in the name, but not on the brain. I am Spencer.
And I'm Shelby.
And Shelby's prepared, and I am not.
Classic.
And together, Shelby and I are here to take you on a journey through life's biggest questions. Like,
is the thing you forgot to do the thing you said you would do?
yes.
Because then I said I would do it, and you said, who's doing it, you or me? And I said, you. Is that the thing?
Mm-hmm.
Waiter, how is this soup made?
Did you do it?
No, you said you were doing it.
Okay.
We'll just come up with them on the spot.
Yeah.
Alternate style.
That's fine. I mean, obviously I was going to make up everything.
Well, yeah, obviously. That's what it all is, made up.
Shelby, if you were to win the lottery, what
Yeah.
would today look like for you in 5 years?
I win the lottery today,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm telling you what my right now would look like in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I imagine, do we know how much the lottery was?
Let's say 600 million.
I imagine I burned through all of it in year 1. So for the last 4 years, I've had to move in with my parents. You left me. Actually, no, I left you because I have $600 million. I don't need you.
Mm-hmm.
So I left you. And then I burned through all of it. Just to reiterate, in year 1, they said it couldn't be done. And I said, give me a challenge and I'll take it head on. So I'm living with my parents, which, no shade. If you gotta live with your parents, you gotta live with your parents. Very thankful. But I cry every day because I used to have $600 million.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say I think I've started a mini vlog series on the newest app called SMSoup that I just cry every day because I used to have $600 million. It's for the hate fuel,
Mm-hmm.
So people can be like, wow, cry about it. And that's what I literally do
Mm-hmm.
every day. But it's not panning out as well as having $600 million did. How about you?
I don't think anything would change.
Nothing would change. Not a single thing would change. You wouldn't buy a house.
I'd buy a house.
So something would change.
And I'd be banking on that money. Because you'd win 600 million, but you wouldn't actually get 600 million.
Right.
But I'd be banking on that money to make so much in interest to cover a lot of monthly expenses, your day-to-day expenses,
Sure.
monthly expenses, stuff like
Sure.
that. But I would continue working my day job.
Really?
Yeah. Just doing, the bare minimum I already do.
Right. No, that makes sense.
To make enough money to allow for me to have some flexible spending.
It's a very responsible
I'd retire early.
answer. Yeah.
For sure. But
Cool.
I don't think I'd retire right away.
Yeah.
It's very tough because I often say, if you gave me $1 million, I think I could retire. But it does require you to live very much so within your means.
Yep.
But if you have $1 million in a bank account and the bank account has a 6% interest rate, which is high, that'd be well, I don't know actually. I'd have to look into it. But if I'm doing dumb math right, and you have $1 million and 6%, I think that's $60,000 which is like an average salary in like many different places
Right.
that you could easily live off of.
Right.
So yeah, scratch that. If I made $600 million, I'd retire.
Yeah. You'd put it all in one bank, and then when that bank gets hacked, you'd cry about it on Schmick in 5 years.
I'd go, is there nothing to protect me? Is there nothing to protect me,
There's
the person
no
with money in the bank?
guidelines?
And then every single person who will never have that much money will go,
Right.
you fucking idiot.
Right.
If you ever have that much money, you're supposed to spread it out.
Right.
Because then you are protected. Fun fact. If you ever have, I forget what the threshold is.
I thought it was $250,000.
No.
I know every time I get $9, I open a new account. I spread it out.
Just in case.
Just in case. I don't want it to be even because then someone might catch on. 10, sketchy. 9, no one's looking
I think
at
opening
you.
too many bank accounts is sketchy, especially if you're not putting a lot of money in them.
Well, no, currently I have 2.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good.
New year? I know last episode was the new year, but this really feels like the new year, you know?
I'm like really pleasantly surprised with us.
Having made it this far or what?
Yeah.
As humans or as the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
No, so like we have travel coming up that is
Yeah.
leading to us needing to like do pre-record and stuff
Shocker,
like that.
shocker. We're pre-recording.
And like I know last week we talked about our plan for the year and how like we have like somewhat of a set schedule that we're gonna try and abide by with like certain things.
Right.
But like that still leaves like everything in between, and we're just like, well, we'll figure it out. And we did. We figured it out.
We did. And I'm actually excited about it.
I know. I'm like excited for all these episodes that are coming up.
I do think this is obvious. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say we. I do work better under pressure. Like if you give me a task and then say I have 30 days to do it, I'm going to do it on day 29, hour 14, right? You're not quite the same. You're definitely similar. So I feel like when we're pushed to have to think a lot at once, we actually spend the time to sit down and really think about it and come up with something. Versus week to week, the day before or even the hour before, we're going, fuck, what are we going to talk about? So like a little bit of thought goes in when we have to plan, like when we're forced into this situation, which is really sad, but also is what it is, you know? So that's why I feel like we're like, oh, holidays, we had to pre-record. And we were like, these are kind of good. Wow, when we like really think ahead, we're good. And now we're kind of doing that again. So February's going to suck, everyone. Just heads up.
Okay.
No? Sorry, did I ask how you are? I think I did.
I'm good.
Oh, that's good.
And then I said I'm happy. I think.
Yeah.
And then I think I fired into that.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyway. Little update about us before we dive into the episode today. Which we do have the most fantastic episode.
The most.
Last week we were talking about like setting yourself like New Year goals and stuff like that, and I had mentioned about how there's like I wish there was like a way to like have a thing similar to the weird monitor the porn intake of your son app that one of our fucking sitting representatives has talked about and used.
Right.
Something like that to hold somebody accountable, make it a bit of a challenge, stuff like that, but not be solely focused on porn. I said all that.
You did.
And then I said how you and I shouldn't be holding each other accountable for our goals. We are doing that instead. And
We're
immediately,
doing exactly what we should
I
be
immediately
doing.
said, let's just do it, 2 of us, and like we can track it. And Shelby was like, yeah, and I'm fine to just use that app. Totally forgetting and just missing the point that the only thing that the app was for was to monitor
porn usage.
Basically.
Yeah, I thought it was a tracking app, like period. Like a habit
No, it's not a
tracker.
period tracker either.
Well, then it's useless.
But yeah, so we have a little whiteboard that we have filled out.
We do, which how did we do today?
We're
We're very
Well, it's funny because like most of the stuff on it, like we haven't fully built it out, and I think like as the year moves on, we'll have things
Yeah.
that we realize we want to be better about doing. It's a lot of like
Adulting.
take care of the fucking apartment stuff.
Yeah.
So like and it's like a weekly goal to vacuum and to dust and to because like if you don't like set yourself a reminder, you like realize that
All of a
and
sudden,
we're
3
disgusting.
weeks have passed.
We're
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah,
I'm
for
about
sure.
to put us on full blast.
We deserve
Sometimes
it.
we don't fucking wash our sheets for like too long. Like whatever you think is too long,
Add
longer.
longer. Triple it.
So it's like we have that written down to like be on top of and stuff. And it's just like
Yeah.
and honestly like half of it is like little reminders to like call people with like the last known date that you called them.
Yeah.
And I think it's just going to be really great.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. We are people who need like reminders and stuff because it's just like when we're in something, nothing else is happening. So it's like we'll go through periods of like genuinely weeks where I lose all track of time and I have no concept of the last time I did anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I like need to write down when I've done something, when I need to do something, etc. So no, it's great.
But yeah, we have like a daily walk on there.
Yeah.
We
We're
have
trying to drink more water.
Yeah, drink 64 ounces of water, which I did today.
We're trying to be functioning human beings is kind of where
I did.
this is all
I'm up to 60. I'm gonna probably eclipse 70 ounces.
I won't. I probably won't even hit 64. But oh, this is almost empty. So I'm gonna be one short. I might hit 64 by the end of the day. Probably not, but maybe.
You're gonna pee in the middle of the night if you do.
Exactly. I know. That's why I can't.
You're like, that's why I just don't drink water, because then what if I have to
peeing.
pee?
It's so inconvenient.
And then I have like a little thing to. We have a thing to stretch.
Yeah,
which is like it's like again, it's just like it's so stupid. It's just things that you should obviously do.
Yeah,
and like.
But we're bad at it.
Like, well, yeah, there's that, but also like, I don't know. It's what I was talking about last week, where it's like when you have something to like check off, you feel better
You're
about having
gamifying
done
it.
it.
Yeah.
You and I were doing daily walks very consistently.
Yeah.
And we were doing more than one walk and stuff like that, and like really didn't have any trouble. But as soon as we stopped doing it,
We never
we
walked
didn't
again.
walk for like a while.
Yep.
And so it's like I'm not like that worried about it. And like I know like if things are busy, whatever, it's not the end of the world. But to have it written down on a list and to like feel like you're letting yourself down by not like crossing it off, it's like it's that little bit of added motivation to do the thing.
Yep.
And then for me personally, I have like a little thing that's like just do as many push-ups as you can, go upstairs, try to do a pull-up, and it's just like, and then like that's fine for now. That's the bare minimum I want to do for now. And like I said, in a couple of weeks, maybe I'll have like do this like consistent thing, and maybe I will, or maybe I'll just leave it as push-ups, because literally a couple of weeks ago when I couldn't do any push-ups, and I was like, I gotta try and do. I think I managed to do 10 before dying, and it's like I'm already up to 15, and it's not that hard.
I was shocked. You have been like sort of doing that off and on, where you're like, oh, I'm trying to do so many push-ups today. You started that like last fall, again, very off and
like
on,
a couple months ago.
But you would do it, and I would just be like, it like blew my mind. Blew my basic exercise.
You're
blew
like,
my
Spencer
mind.
is working out?
No, I was blown away because you would never see me trying to do push-ups.
The thing is that I really want that tonal.
It's true. You do
and
want
so I
to.
gotta prove it.
You do. No, I'm very impressed. You're up to 15 push-ups.
That's not that many.
I could never. I'm impressed. You get up and do it. Like, that's great. 2, today was day 1 of stretching. Basically, both of us we're the classic, like, we sit at a desk all day. We're not sitting or standing at a desk. We're on our sofa.
I sit
a lot. I stand at the sofa only. And it's a lot of, staring at screens, the whole 9 yards. Your classic, like, all of our necks are kind of messed up because we're always looking down at a phone. Like, we fit every one of those boxes that they're like, this is really bad for you. And so I've been saying for literal ever, I was like, I really need to get back into stretching every day. Like, my body hates me. And I know I should be like not feeling quite the way I feel. I'm aware it's like a me problem that I need to like work on it. And so we, made a small playlist on YouTube of some easy, quick stretching videos. I'll probably add some yoga videos in there Today was day 1, and it was so funny. It was sad and funny. It was an 8-minute video. And I literally was like, wow, I actually feel okay. Like, that was actually, like, enjoyable. Not that I ever hate stretching, but I never do it. I never go out of my way to do it. Unless I'm, like, literally in pain. Then I'm like, clearly I need to do this to not be in pain. And it's so sad that one 8-minute video was like, yeah, what was 8 minutes? Who the hell cared? We literally, if you're watching the video, the mats are behind us. You can see that we literally took a step away from our desk and just did it quickly. And then it was done. Like, I don't know. Do you have any resounding thoughts after one 8-minute video of stretching?
I mean, honestly, it was more than I even think. I'm like it's more than I feel the need to try and do every day.
Yeah.
Like that video. Like literally
But also, what's 8 minutes?
Well, I had done some stretches beforehand, like much more like very basic, and I'm saying like that's all I really think I need for now. Like I think I just need basic for now. I think I need to do like the arm wheels, and I think I need to like try
high
and
school gym.
Yeah, and then I think I need to like try and touch my toes, and then I think I need to like do that for now.
Yeah.
And then once I get there, then I can try and do like the open yourself up and like
I see.
like I couldn't do like half of it if I'm being honest, because I'm fucking 6'4" and not flexible whatsoever.
Yeah.
So like I mean like I can't, there's parts of my body that I haven't touched, that haven't felt the loving touch of my own hands in years.
Yeah. I don't know. I used to do definitely more intensive stretching. I mean, years ago. So I'm like, I want to go back to doing those. So I have a hard time just doing the like, literally everything you just described. What's bad for me?
So anyway, what are we talking about this week?
We're talking about.
I love how you're like, oh, we don't even really need to go into that much. And then I'm looking here and there's like 3,000 pages.
It's one page.
Are these the Epstein documents?
Yeah, I got them all right here, baby. No, today we're talking about, it's the new year. This,
oh my God, my eye hurts.
Crazy thing happens where we like to reflect on the year prior. And
we're talking about Spotify Wrapped. We're talking about
Wrapped.
We're talking about every fucking company ever under the fucking sun that now does wrap-ups that tell you about all the content, all the little content that your grubby little hands got on that you fucking devoured, you piece of shit. And they bundle it up, and then we all sit there and go, yay, thank you. And then the fucking content machine keeps pumping on.
Ooh. Anyway, so I have just a little history on the Spotify Wrapped,
which I think is the important one to touch on, because that's the thing that blew it up for everybody else to now do it.
Definitely.
PlayStation does it. Xbox does it. Those are the only ones that I think I really partake in.
Apparently
Reddit does it.
Certain news sources were also doing it. More of like a year in review like style. I don't think it was like user generated.
It's not the same.
But like they're using.
YouTube has always done like a YouTube Rewind.
That's true.
So like if you really want to try and talk about like a content wrap,
that's true.
YouTube probably was like one of the first.
Do they
to
still
do
those?
I don't know. Who cares?
Anyway.
But yeah, so I wouldn't. That's not
fair.
the same.
Okay.
So shut your mouth.
So a little history on the Wrapped. Spotify Wrapped. Spotify released its first Wrapped as we know it today in 2016. The year prior, 2015, they'd done a year in music, but 2016 was the first official like Spotify Wrapped. Like, yeah, you'd get like a link in your email or something. You pretty much had to open it on a desktop, all of the above. In 2019, it became the phone mobile version friendly that we know and share today. And that is what we are focusing on, because it has been heavily pushed around that the person who created the mobile sharing, highly like enticing Instagram story size, ready to go version was created in a pitch by Jewel Ham, who was doing an internship at Spotify that summer of 2019, pre that version coming out. she had been, I have no concept if there were like multiple interns and they were all given this or what, but she was given a task to pitch a way to make the Wrapped appeal more to Gen Z. And she says there was no oversight or direction given to her. It was like, this is what we want. See what you can come up with. She pitched it on her last day of the internship and like was like, there was really positive reactions to it. Great, cool. She was 21 at the time, going into her senior year of college. She comes up with it. Obviously, it like blew up that year because we were like, oh my God, I can like, it's so graphically enticing, which not to say it wasn't before, but it's like on your phone. You literally, it's telling you to share it a million times over. All of this, it like blows up in 2019 and this whole thing happens. And the reason, the way she came out was, I believe, a Twitter thread. She literally was like, here was my pitch, like image, like showed the whole thing and was like, LOL, I like literally pitched this as an intern. And like clearly Spotify, like she never heard anything that came of it until like she herself received the Wrapped that year. And so it like blew up. This whole thing happened. I did get most of this information, like direct quotes from her, from a Refinery 29 article. And through them, they said that Spotify denies that like she was the source of inspiration. They were like, hundreds of people have chipped in ideas and like, which like I'm sure there's a team.
And we don't give any of them credit.
I'm sure there's a team working on it.
Yeah.
But like she clearly heavily pushed
also,
the direction.
Like, I don't think it's super far-fetched to say that she was the only one who had that idea.
No,
like,
right.
Obviously, anybody could have, like, somebody else
Sure.
could have had that idea
100%.
2-3 years ago. Like,
Sure.
you know, it's not like that forward thinking of an idea, but
right.
also
like, it was crazy looking at her photo of a pitch and
oh no,
like what it is now.
100%, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like one of those things too. And like, I probably would have been a little radicalized if like I pitched something to my company, and then I parted ways, and then 5 months later I see that idea actually implemented.
Yeah.
I'd probably be like,
and
that's scummy.
It's extra crazy to think about, like being able to look back on it now, because I think it was largely 2020 that like I think that she really came out and started being like, listen, I know I gave it to them. They're not in the wrong, but like, holy shit, I gave it to them and now look at how well they're doing.
Also, yeah, it should be a realization of like
shit, I gave them a great idea.
Not even that, just like how like, yeah, well, like idea theft that can happen at a corporation, and how like anything you come up with technically isn't your own.
Right.
And it's all just gonna fucking line the pocket of those fat cats at the top. And if that doesn't make you have a desire to join the workforce, I don't know what will.
But yeah, so basically Spotify is like, you know, a lot of people pitched in, a lot of people gave ideas, which like I get, but like, I don't know, you can't tell me you didn't take massive amounts of inspiration from this girl's pitch. So this whole thing is obviously a much larger statement on internships and workers' rights.
1,000%. 1,000%.
And all that.
That's what I was going at with like idea theft.
I feel shitty even saying this, but like they did specify this internship was paid, but it's still...
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's sad that you have to say that because so many fucking aren't. So it's sad that you have to specify. But obviously, like, she was basically given...
Should we do a deep dive on internships?
God, I don't even know where to start. But yeah, we could try.
Probably do that for our March deep dive.
Maybe.
Right around the time that people are getting ready to sign up for internships.
Might be worth a shot. Think about it. But like, it's literally coming down to like, so this idea that's given you definitely thousands, if not like hundreds of thousands of dollars, was like worth X stipend in 2019.
Right.
Like this insane idea that has literally changed marketing for this company was worth this stipend. Like, what the fuck? Like, literally, what the fuck? So obviously, again, big commentary on internships as a whole, workers' rights as a whole, because the whole like you said, when you create something on company time or on company property, generally it's in your contract that it is theirs now. can't think of a word, but it now is owned by them. I did want to make note because I knew this in the past few years. Spotify has been under heat for other pay things because it came out what they tend to pay. They're like, I say the artists, by that it's technically the music rights holders who are like putting the music on Spotify. You were getting paid anywhere between 0.006 and 0.0084 cents per song stream on Spotify. Just as a slight, I did look up others, which there's like, I see different numbers, different places. I was trying my best to like find one. Apple Music claims their artists are paid 0.01 cent on average per stream, and YouTube Music.
So a tenth of a cent.
A tenth of a cent per stream.
I'm just making sure that's like we're clear on what you're saying.
Yeah. That's what they claim. And YouTube Music claims their artists will get paid between 0.00164 and 0.002 depending on like where you play it, because of YouTube you like get a membership, and if you're playing it on directly on their page it's one thing, if you find it through the YouTube Music app it's one thing. So like they have fluctuations, but they also have a thing because on YouTube if you use your music with their agreement, you'll get paid a minimum of like a crazy small amount if your music's in other people's content too, which YouTube's like a massive platform and like your shit could be everywhere and you don't know it. So like that is a plus. Does it all still sound insane to be like music is being paid like nothing to just be like streamed willy-nilly? But anyway, so Spotify was definitely under hate. I mean, a lot of people for a minute there were like kind of trying to boycott it, kind of trying to be like, if you can move to a different platform, move to a different platform. I have not heard a word about that since
it all sucks. It doesn't matter.
All happened.
It doesn't matter what you do.
So when the whole like payment situation was really like brought to light, the CEO of Spotify, Daniel Ek, faced pushback when in an interview he stated the problem isn't the rates, but the fact that musicians and groups need to push harder. Quote him, "You can't record music once every 3 to 4 years and think that's going to be enough."
Say that again?
You can't record music once every 3 to 4 years and think that's going to be enough. Like he basically was like, rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to make money, keep recording.
According to a Spotify company SEC document, Ek today filed to sell 400,000 shares in Spotify for total proceeds of US dollars in the value of $64 million.
Cool.
Go fuck yourself. Literally go fuck yourself.
So I had just like 2 more quotes from Jewel Ham from the Refinery 29.
Daniel Ek is a billionaire. Go fuck yourself.
From the Refinery.
You steal wages from artists. Yeah. Don't tell them that they need to record music more than 3 to 4 times or once every 3 to 4 years. Go fuck yourself.
So Jewel Ham was quoted at saying, basically, at the end of the day, the problem here is not that Spotify stole my idea. It's that I gave it to them. What?
Can you just tell him to go fuck himself?
You can go fuck yourself.
Thank you.
Because it was, again, a lot of commentary on, like, I was 21. I was just told to come up with this idea. I was very passionate about my idea. I spent definitely overtime hours on my idea because I was super proud of it and passionate and wanted to do good. And, like, look at what it's come out to. Like, cool, I made something great, but, like, for what? Like, you know? Because it's not yours. Benefit, yeah. It's not yours now. And they also said, really, the situation is about other people realizing that they're eligible for reparations, to know their value, and that the content and things they contribute are worthy from him. Which I did mark. If you want to follow her on socials, she's whatever Jewel. Like, whatever Jewel. She's a really cool social account. You should check her out. Anyway.
Yeah, and I think like that's like I think all of it's like a really good lesson to everyone.
Yeah.
In whatever job you're in, unless you genuinely love it.
Right.
Unless you genuinely love it. Like love it. I like my job. I'm very happy with my job, right. And I know that's something that many people can't say. But I do not love my job. If you love your job, you wake up every day and you're so happy you get to do whatever it is that you do, this advice is not for you. To everybody else, you don't owe them shit. You don't owe them more than whatever it is that you are. If you are salaried, 40 hours a week, and that's too much, but that is what they get. If you are salaried, do not put in any overtime. It's not fucking worth it. It's not fucking worth it. And more likely than not, little secret, they're not going to fire you. Unless you do something so wrong.
Right.
They're not going to fire you for doing what it is that you're supposed to do.
Right.
Because they wouldn't have a reason. So I'm not saying don't do what it is that is expected of
right.
you and within the confines of what's expected of
right.
you. But it's
quiet quitting, people.
This is a lesson. It's not quiet quitting. It's doing what is asked. You know,
yeah,
like I know that is what quiet quitting is. Like, yeah, like, you know, don't put in like the thing where it's like put in overtime hours. Like that just like makes me so sad.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, she elected to because she liked what she was doing. Yeah,
I know.
Which is also,
but
like,
you shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
That's how you burn out. That's how you,
100%.
And that goes for even when you love something.
Yeah.
Like you should really like.
Yeah.
You know, as somebody who like pays attention to like, you know, game devs and stuff like that. That's like a cautionary tale that they constantly tell because it's like you're doing the thing that it is like a passion project. You're doing the thing that you love to do, and it's like you don't realize that you also need to make sure you're still setting aside time for yourself, and then you burn yourself out, and then you come to hate the thing that you loved.
Right.
And that's probably the most depressing thing that can happen to the human condition.
Yeah.
But yeah,
100%.
like it's just like it's so upsetting because like, and the other thing too is like, and there's been plenty of documentation of this, but it's just like if you, not to be morbid, but if you die tomorrow, they will replace you.
Yeah.
And that is like the number one reason to not give more than you're supposed to.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
If they tell you what your clear path is to like get a promotion and things like that, great. But if they do it under the guise of like, well, if you work hard, you might get a promotion, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You give me the direct steps, I will take them. Otherwise, like you're not getting more from me just so that you could be like, maybe next year. No, like that's not how that works. And so many people try to do like so many things try to do that. Well, like, oh, you're not eligible for promotion because you haven't started to like do the things that are worthy of a promotion. And it's just like, no, I don't start doing the tasks of whatever the next position is until I have that position.
Right.
Easier said than done.
Right.
But it's just like something to try and keep in mind because like shit's not going to get any better when it comes to like the capitalist hellscape that we're in. So like protect yourself. Look out for number 1. 2024.
As best you can.
Look out for number 1.
You can.
But we're not here to talk about capitalism. We're here to talk about raps. So can I talk about Spotify Wrapped?
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to have background.
Yeah, no, I think this is all great. And it's like great to know that there's like I love and hate it for Jewel.
Mm-hmm.
Jules.
Jewel.
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 Because it's like, how awesome is it to be like the person who can say that like this is all because of something of an idea that I like really pushed on.
Right. Like literally it was your summer and you just were like in between semesters.
But then it makes me sad.
It does, right? Like it's both. Because you know, like, can you imagine like that pops up on your phone? Like it's like, oh, new Wrapped. And you're like, oh, cool. And you're like, wow, it's on my phone this time. That's like sick. I can open it. And then you're like, I fucking made that.
Yeah.
I fucking made that. Which unfortunately I've heard, especially in the creative industry, I've literally heard of that happening, not on like such a scale, but I've heard of that happening to people. It's really fucking, in a true like stolen concept idea, really fucking awful. So I'm sure you're sitting there like a lot of emotions, even knowing you gave them that idea and like weren't wrong. You're there like, I didn't even know they used it. Clearly they like loved it, which like you feel good, but then you're like, but cool, everyone's gonna see this, and it's like, it's over. My name connection to it is dead. Like it's done. Like there is no connection to it in theory, other than I know I did this. And like if you tell people are gonna be like, no, you fucking didn't.
Right.
Not that matters,
Yeah.
but like
No,
it's just
it
this
does.
crazy like mind game of like I made that, and literally like I don't have the numbers, but like I did have a number on the sharing aspect of it. According to Forbes, 120 million people accessed their 2021 Spotify Wrapped, and over 60 million people shared it online. 60 million people shared their Wrapped.
Over 50% of people who opened their Wrapped shared it. That's
to some
nuts.
capacity.
That is nuts.
And yeah, they've seen, and the numbers have, I mean, that was a huge jump from like 2020 to 2021 because that's when it like really, really blew up. So there was like some crazy percentage hype. And now the percentage hype isn't as much because like now everyone's doing it. But like it's still increasing. Like they expected a certain increase into 2022 and like now 2023. Like people like wait for the fucking day and like everyone's like happy Spotify Wrap Day. And I'm not going to lie, like I look because I'm very intrigued. Like, I also fall into it and I'm like, oh, what did I listen to this year? What happened? And like, I know you're going to go into it about like now other places are using it because it's become a whole marketing thing. And there were a few marketing articles connected to it where they're like, this is the future because it is user generated and user content data collecting. Like it's literally them collecting data on you and going, look it. And you're going, woo, thanks.
Give me more.
Give me more. Yeah, which like, again, I'm not here to be like, data collection, but like this is what it is. It's collecting data on you and like reporting it back to you in fun colors. And it's wild. It is wild because that is becoming a like, it's become a brand of like, look, I use Spotify. Here's my Wrapped. Apple Music started doing a Wrapped in the past 2 years, maybe 3 at this point, but 2 for sure. And it's like, you can fucking tell. It's like, oh, well, I have a Wrapped, but it's an Apple Music Wrapped. Like, it's like, it's just becoming this thing that is like so outrageous. But it's like definitely blown up. Someone equated it. It might have actually been Jewel Ham who was like, it's like the excitement of like how people can get into horoscopes. You're like identifying yourself through your like patterns and actions and like, because now they do like, here's your listening personality, and like last year they did your aura and like all this shit like they're which again you can totally get tied up in it, but it's like it's just this crazy it's just crazy. It's crazy how big it is. Yeah, I needed to tell you that number of how many people. And again, that was 2021.
Yeah, it's crazy.
60 million people shared it. That is endless publicity for Spotify. Endless. But yeah, now everyone's doing it. Which again, mixed feelings. Like it's gonna get old.
Yeah, well,
if it's not already for most people. For some people.
If I may.
Go ahead.
I hate that like everybody's like trying to like dive into it and do it. And like also to your point, you're like all it is data collection. So at any given moment, I should just be able to like pull this stuff up.
Yes.
And also it's annoying because as a nerd, as a stat nerd, I'm a little pissed that suddenly everybody's gung-ho for it because like you said, there's pretty colors tied to it. And it's just like all you're proving is that everybody's a fucking nerd who loves data. Everybody loves data. Everybody's like, oh, I hate Excel. I hate spreadsheets. I hate all that. But it's like that's all this is. It's just data tracking.
I made a note about this. To myself, a thought, based on what you're saying. People don't love having to figure out the data.
Oh, I know.
They love seeing the end result.
They love it presented to them.
And being presented to them. And something Spotify did, which is like fucking genius, is every type of listener you are, you're champion for it. You listened to one artist all year. Holy shit, you're amazing.
Yeah.
You listened to 150. Holy shit, you're amazing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They championed you regardless of your outcome.
So it annoys me. And like I think about it because like it annoys me because specifically like PlayStation does one now, and it's like,
did I ever even open mine?
I just want to be able to go back and look at all my PlayStation stats from throughout the years, and I want to have it in a centralized location, and I don't want to have to wait for a specific fucking day in the year, and then for you to go and in 20 days it'll be gone.
Yeah,
I hate that. I hate that so much. And then, I just hate that everybody's just completely jumped on the bandwagon. And I hate that as humans and consumers and everything like that, we're just so desensitized to it anymore.
Yeah.
That we don't like call out the like blatant copying of a trend or of an idea And we're just like, I can't wait for my Netflix Wrapped. Oh, like I just got my Spotify Wrapped, so that means this Wrap's coming. And it's just like, you're an insane person.
Yeah.
Like we all just like turn a complete blind eye to it. And it's just like,
Well, it's because it becomes such a trend
I know.
that you get more excited
I
about
know.
it than actually caring about. I mean, no one fucking. This is very overreaching, but no one cares about creative ownership. Fucking no one.
no, I know.
Especially not trends of any kind.
No, I'm just saying, like,
yeah, 100%.
it's just, yeah. Well, lastly,
I want my grocery store Wrapped.
Yeah.
Tell me what I bought.
No,
Tell me I
but, like-
bought a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch every fucking week.
But like, actually, that's the kind of stuff. Like, I am a person who
Yeah.
loves. Like, I would eat that shit up. I would love it. Like, I do. I say that like it's annoying that everybody puts it in this little bow.
Yeah.
But it's like, if we have a Food Lion near us. If
Yeah.
Food Lion was just like, hey Spencer, here's everything that was bought when you plugged in your phone number.
Yeah.
And then we went ahead and decided to show you the items that you bought the most, and it's like fucking 52 apple turnovers.
We would have the most apple turnovers.
It's just like great, I would love it, but I don't
Yeah.
need it to be like I don't need the fucking ass kissing of like, guess you have a bit of a sweet tooth. Like I don't need the cutesy shit. Literally,
Yeah.
just like. I want to like when we went and saw Kings of Leon, just get up on stage, play your fucking music, and get out.
And start walking out when you hear Sex on Fire because you know it's the last song.
No, because your brother is ill and
Oh.
is like, oh, I want to leave early, and I'm like, I'm going to listen to Sex on Fire, knowing full well that it'll be their closing song.
Gotcha.
What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
Actually, though, I
Yeah.
have my final thing that I
Yes.
do want to say, and it's my biggest gripe with Spotify and all of them,
Okay.
but specifically Spotify
Okay.
that I'll call out because it's like the main one.
Sure.
You cannot tell me that this is my year of music in fucking November,
Yeah.
you absolute animals.
Yeah.
That is the most insane thing I have ever seen. And I think what really called attention to why I think I kind of hate the Spotify Wrapped is because our friend, he and I were talking about it, and he said, well, I like that they do it in November because I don't want like Christmas music to be on, like I don't want it to like be influenced by Christmas music. And I get that, but also that means you just care, like that means like, and this goes for everybody just cares about the appearance
Yeah.
of
Absolutely.
it. I just want to show you that I listen to Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
But you don't want people to know you listen to Christmas music?
Right.
Like, then don't listen to, like, if you're embarrassed about listening to Christmas music,
Or like
then don't listen
be a
to it.
weirdo and listen to it on something else. If you're worried about numbers, like if that's what you're worried about, yeah.
That right there
Mhm.
is the thing that I think irks me the most, and is like the thing that rubs me the wrong way the most, is that like it's not a true year in review.
Yeah.
And that really like if
The
I
analytical part of you is
if I have an ick,
screaming. Yeah.
if I have an ick, it's that. It's like, don't tell me this is a year's worth of data and it's 11 months.
Have you heard of the ins and outs thing?
No.
People are doing like making a list and they're like in for 2024, out for 2024.
Okay. In for 2024. A year is 12 months. Out for 2024. November is not the end of the year.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Like, that actually bothers me so much. And like,
I am curious if they made that decision because of that or just as a whole, they were like, maybe they just wanted to avoid the holidays.
it doesn't make any sense though.
I don't get it.
Because
Just
guess
do it in
what?
January.
My data from 2023
Yeah.
is still there come January.
Right.
Say you want to do it like middle of the month.
Sure.
So 15th, and then so 15th a Monday this year.
Yeah.
So Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah.
Hopefully you have off. So 16th, 17th is a Wednesday. So that Wednesday, release it. Release the hounds.
Right.
Whatever. But like, don't, like that bothers me so much. I have a full fucking month to still influence. If you had a favorite song,
They should send out a sneak peek in November
if you
so
have,
that you can go crazy and try to influence
if you
it.
have a favorite song that doesn't release until November,
Right.
that you're like, oh my God, I love this song, you'll, lost to the fucking ether.
Right.
Maybe it'll be one of your most played songs the following year, but like that's not like an adequate showing. Like that just really bothers me from a statistics standpoint. That just really bothers me. And I know it's meaningless. Like I know it's meaningless and it doesn't matter if that song is there or not, but it's just like you're not showing me true stats.
Right. Right.
That really bothers me. Sorry.
No.
And I did like, though, that PlayStation, the way they did it was they released theirs on like December 15th or something like that. They released it in like middle of December. And they specifically called out that like your stats will continue to update, but you'll no longer have access to your wrap up by like middle of January.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like come back on January 1 and you will see your definitive stats. And then you still have 2 additional weeks, which again doesn't make any fucking sense. You should be able to access it at any point. You should be able to download it. You should be able to access your data at any point.
Right.
But for whatever reason, you can't.
Yeah. Well,
like,
so it feels like a bigger deal when it shows
it's a finite
up.
resource.
Yeah, that's what they're doing is they're giving you a limited time period
Yeah,
to
but
enjoy
fuck
it.
you.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yes, absolutely. I agree. The whole thing is wild.
Yeah. Artificial scarcity.
Yes. I was about to call it manufactured excitement because literally.
Manufactured scarcity.
Yeah.
I went on a rant there because I am genuinely passionate about like that thing specifically. That really bothers me. But
I'm sure you're not the only one.
General thoughts on Spotify. I mean, again, I do want to say I do like Spotify Wrapped.
Me too.
Again, I love all of them. I hate that like they all just kind of copy each other.
Sure.
But I do love getting a nice little
I
like
get pulled into it because
data
a year is so long. So many things happen in that time period. I don't know all the things. And so it is fun when you already enjoy like these services that like whether you're intentionally tracking, like I use a book tracking app, I elect to track that information. So to then at the end of the year, sure, I could go in and go, oh, this is what I did, how I rated them. To have a nice little thing that's like, do you want to see how your whole year went? I'm like, yeah, show me how my whole year went. Thank you.
I do.
Thanks. I wanted to see that because now I don't have to sit there and go, and like look through all the shit I logged myself. So I do enjoy it. I enjoy the Spotify Wrapped.
Real quick, I don't know what happens when we die, but
I do think our Spotify Wraps are what judge us.
If there is an afterlife,
sure,
and let's just give it the typical Christian like pearly gates, heaven, all that stuff, right? When I get there and they are about to decide whether or not I can walk through those gates, I want them to give me a fucking Excel.
Right.
And I want it to be everything. I want it to be my career stats.
Whoa.
I want my KDR. I want my
Whoa.
Do you know what KDR is?
No.
That's your kill death ratio. Most people's are probably hopefully are what's 0 divided by 1?
0. Square root of 1.
No, I think it's impossible.
It's null. Solve for x.
I think it's impossible, right? 0 divided by 1 is impossible. 1 divided by 0, though, is 0.
It's the ratio of an obtuse triangle.
No, 1 divided by 0 is error. I messed up. I'm sorry. 0 divided by 1 is 0. So most people's KDR should be 0.
Right the first time. Right.
Anyway.
I want to see total hours slept.
I literally want it to be like biggest poop. Smallest poop.
Sickest poop.
And then
spiciest.
I want it to be like smallest poop, and then I want you to be like, I really don't remember.
And
that.
you click on it, and a little video.
And
pops
a little
up.
video pops up, and it's you walking in the mall, and you didn't realize that you accidentally shit yourself in the mall. Like, amazing. It's like, yeah, this registered like an earthquake.
Yeah.
This registered on the scale of this was a shit.
It was just enough. That
is my heaven.
That would be great.
That is my ideal afterlife. Is like, and then you have until you finish the document,
right?
And then you hit into the eternal darkness.
Right.
Perfect.
That works for me. I like that. That's fun.
You can see where you're at on the leaderboard against friends.
Right.
Anyway, Spotify Wrapped. Sorry.
No, I like it. I am a sucker for it. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously don't love the, I'll say, story behind it, like how it was made.
Yeah.
Like obviously I don't like that because I could just go off about like internships and creative ideas and all of that. So really don't love that. Don't love that, like whatever, the whole thing. But not gonna lie, I am a sucker for it. I like to watch it. I like to see it. At this point, I am only a part of like 2 things that give me a Wrapped. So
For
like
now.
for now, right? For now. So for now,
Pinterest doesn't give a Wrapped.
not that I'm aware of, or if it does, I've never seen it and I don't click on it.
Instagram?
Nope. At least not. I've never seen one.
I don't think Twitter does, but
But so as of right now, for me, I'm not so flooded with it that it's like, oh God, like here we go. Like I literally have my Spotify and I have now this book one. This is the first year I've had that. So, I know it's gonna get like pushed into the ground because all trends do. And now that everyone's doing it, I actually, one thing that has been really cute that's come out of it is I follow a lot of like small business people, pop-up market people, and people have started making their own as like a really cohesive, quick way of like capping your year and being like, in 2023, I did this many markets, I made this many things, this many new customers, blah, 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 like new returning customers. And I think that is a very, like at its core, it's a really great way to sum up a year. Because it's like so hard to just be like, oh yeah, all of this happened this year. And it's a really great way to mark milestones and mark just like at a quick glance what happened. So I do really enjoy the idea as a whole. But yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't know. Maybe in 2 years it'll already be dead or something.
maybe.
Or it'll be something new. Like
This year, finally kicked you off of my Spotify so that you stopped ruining my Wrapped.
Have been ruining Spencer's Wrapped for a very long time.
Weezer still always weasels their way into the top 5 for me.
Yeah, but you're always mad they're not the first.
Well, no, I'm just always mad because the rest of the list is always like things that I don't listen to. And I'm just like,
my favorite thing about the Wrapped is I listen to so many soundtracks that I always get a really random person.
oh, I love Taron Egerton was in our top 5.
Taron Egerton was in our top.
We were jamming to that Rocket Man.
And I listen to the Sing soundtrack a lot. Yeah, and a year before that, it was Leslie Odom Jr. Is that his name? It was him.
Because of Hamilton.
Because of Hamilton, and he was in something else too. I don't know, but
Hamilton.
Yeah, I love that. It's always a fun random person because of the amount of soundtracks I listen to.
Not anymore, but yeah.
Well, for me, it'll still happen.
Yeah, well, for you, it's probably gonna be 2 to 3.
That's true. Yeah,
randos.
You're right. Anyway, so next year we get to actually compare.
Yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be a nice little
our
like
actual Wraps.
Can you guess? And I will not be able to guess yours, and you will be able to guess mine.
Yeah, mine truly do change every year.
Oh, I know.
So yeah, happy end of year, new year, all the above, Wrapped season.
And real quick, we wanted to
give it
treat you to the SMSoup Wrapped because you've been such a devoted listener. Did you know that you listened to 52 episodes of?
What?
That's actually not true.
That's not true. We didn't do 52. 49. I'm guessing. I have no idea.
No, it was 50 or 51.
Sure, let's go 50.
There's no way we missed more than 2. We missed 1. Confidently. You listened to 50 episodes of SMSoup.
Wow.
Well, actually, you listened to 40. And we hate you for it.
You specifically. We know it was you.
What else?
This year, Spencer rambled in cutting off Shelby at least 572 times.
Every clip of SMSoup ever is Spencer cutting off Shelby. And then it cuts to Spencer cutting off Shelby again.
Yeah.
But it's clip worthy.
I clipped it. Shelby clipped it. So
the podcast mentioned Tom Cruise approximately 874 times.
No, yeah, that's definitely accurate. Honestly, it might be a little low.
Across 50 episodes.
The podcast tried out 6 different chicken chains. Something every podcast tries to do, but never can. 5?
Oh my God. It was 5.
It was 5, everyone. I said 5.
No, hang on. I had another one. Hang on. I had one.
I believe you. I believe in you. You can do it. Grogu fell off a tower once during recording.
Oh, the most replayed portion of the podcast was Spencer falling down the stairs and saying, owie, 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 down each step.
That was played approximately 30 times, seemingly from the same device. It was us.
I like how you really called this out. We only got 30 listens.
Anyway, thank you all for being here and for listening and for hanging out. We have some fun January stuff coming up.
Should we tease?
Sure.
Next week.
Yeah.
We will be talking about
vegans. Kind of.
January trends.
January challenges.
Yeah.
Lifestyle challenges.
Yeah. Not necessarily New Year resolutions.
No.
This is a very specific caveat.
It ties together.
This is what we'll be talking about next week.
That'll be next week, and then the 2 weeks after that will
2 weeks after that would be the end of the month.
Following the 2 weeks that are after the next week. Both will be about.
Yep. That's not how I would have said it, but okay.
The following 2 episodes after that will be about stuff.
Jesus Christ. It's Jason Bourne. January 22nd will be a deep dive, a data dive into our stuff.
Our literal
stuff.
Yeah.
And you have been meticulously counting all of our items.
I have 1 room left, and it's the scariest room yet.
And then the following week is the deep dive episode for January.
Yeah.
And we'll be breaking down
general consumer trends.
Yeah. And
commentary on minimalism, decluttering, etc.
Stuff like that.
Giant essay word.
I'm sure I'm gonna fucking talk about how we're in late state capitalism and we're all going to die.
You never talk about that.
Because of corporate greed.
So thank you all again. I hope you stick around for January. Don't forget, we are watching the 1983 Best Picture nominees and winner. So if you need to Google it, just Google it, or I will finally actually post something online at SMSoup Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Or you can find our YouTube SMSoup Podcast if you aren't watching it there already and you'd prefer to. Otherwise, why not give a like or rate it 5 stars wherever the hell the thing tells you to do that. And you can always find our socials in the description. And again, if you want to follow Jewel Ham, the big inspiration behind the mobile Spotify Wrapped, she's a cool-ass artist from what I can tell on her social media. So give her a follow as well. And we'll see you next week. Look out, vegans. We're coming.